Life is a simple game that many people play wrong because they focus on the wrong things. Imagine this. What if you were at the top of your class for high school and in college, you were one of the leading performers on every sports teams you ever played on, and you never got in trouble because you were the poster boy of everything right. Even when you didn't try, everything seemed to work in your favor. Sleep during class, you still got A's on tests. Fuck around at practice, you still scored in games and got good stats. You eat anything under the sun and you still end up with an 8-pack of abs. See, I was living the dream, but it was very short-lived. Shortly after college, I got slapped in the face by the reality that I had to do something different. I was halfway across the country from all my friends. I couldn't find a job because I was overeducated and didn't quite have the experience to get a job. And I was getting beat into a prison of debt. Now, my life had become a shit show because I neglected to do a few simple things that anybody can realistically do. Today, we're going to talk about how I'm working on changing my life and getting myself out of my financial slump by doing a few simple, but not necessarily easy activities. And I know it'll work for me because of the changes I've seen in just a few short weeks. And I know it'll do the same for you. So, let's go. If you're always ready, you don't have to get ready. Preparation is the process of making something ready for use or of getting ready for some occasion, test, or duty. In simplest terms, prep. Planning, readiness, expectation, and practice. Abraham Lincoln once said, "I will prepare, and hopefully someday my chance will come." But the great speaker Myron Golden argued that point, stating, "No matter what, your chance will come. If you're prepared, your skills will reveal you. If you're unprepared, your skills will expose you." Preparation is arguably the most important aspect of life. Being prepared can literally be the difference between life and death, winning and losing, succeeding in all your dreams, or regretting every action you've taken for the rest of your life. No matter what stage in life you're at, you must master the skill and art of preparation. Preparation is a goldmine for everyone, no matter who you are. Those who are constantly prepared get the best experience in life, the most quality relationships, and all the chances and breaks they ever could imagine. For example, imagine you were invited to your friend's wedding. He tells you that he wants you to be a groomsman as well as go on his bachelor's party. Well, if you had prepared financially, you would be able to go take that trip, have the time of your life, and celebrate a big milestone in your friend's life. But if you're unprepared and financially haven't put money to the side, haven't budgeted, and haven't done everything in your power to be responsible, then you'll either have to skip out on the bachelor's trip and possibly even being a groomsman and also go into debt just to show up. Now, this is a situation that I was in personally. My childhood QB and lifelong friend, Ethan, actually invited me over to his wedding down in Texas when I was in Washington. Because I was in a lot of debt, had a low-paying job, and hadn't budgeted and put money in savings, I had to actually call him up about 2 weeks before his wedding and let him know that I wouldn't be able to make it. And it broke my heart. Having moved to Washington in October of 2023, I put together a videography offer for real estate agents and managed to get myself in the room with one. This specific real estate agent agreed to pay me $1,500 a month to do videography for him, but he said I had one listing and he really wanted to see what type of work I could do before we got started together. So realistically, I wasn't 100% prepared, but I shook hands on it and told him I'd get a banger video posted. Only problem was I had only done one shoot and I wasn't the greatest at using my camera. I had 3 options. 1, tell him I wasn't the best and I was new to videography, potentially losing my deal. 2, going and looking up real estate videography YouTube videos and practicing in my free time. Or 3, showing up and winging it. Well, when I ended up going to take that video, the lighting was bad. I didn't record the best videos because I didn't know the angles, the style, and how to actually plan it out. And I didn't have the video editing skills to make up for my lack of knowledge. So when I put together the video, I sent out the first shoot or the first edit. He said, "No, do it differently." And I put it together again. And he was like, "No, do it differently." And ultimately I did it a 3rd time, and instead of even replying, he ignored me. And no matter how many times I called, he just never got back to me. Because of not being prepared, I had genuinely been exposed. So how do you become better at preparation? The prep formula. First, plan. Develop a long-term view of the situation you're in, whether you have life goals, fitness goals, or simply want to get ready for the weekend. I recommend starting with the end in mind. Know what the outcome should look like, ask people what that's going to be like, and then start to put together a plan, figuring out the milestones you need to reach and how you're going to get to each step. Then get ready. Understand that there are going to be hardships and failures along the way. Promise yourself you're going to go over these obstacles, but also know that it's going to take longer than you expect it to take. So go through that process, lay out those milestones, and when you truly have those ready, mentally prepare. But you won't be done. Third, you want to set expectations and a timeline. Now that you have your milestones, decide how long you want the course of this to be. Whether it's 6 months to a year, you'll need to understand that this is not going to be an overnight thing where you're going to find success in the blink of an eye. Write out the milestones you have, what you want to have accomplished by those milestones, and when you want to have each milestone accomplished. Then write out a list of people and resources that could potentially help you at each step of the way. And last and most important, go and practice. Practice is literally the most important step because without doing the activity, you will never get better. Even with YouTube, I've beat myself into a mental masturbation cycle where I swear I'm learning more, but I never make a video. That's what this is. Me actually showing the preparation, the practice, and what I've actually been doing to improve. So, if you want to get fit, your practice will be going to work out. If you want to build a business, your practice will be cold calls. If you want to get a new job, your practice will be answering interview questions out loud to a chair, a wall, a person, as well as developing the skills of your industry. Once you have these things down packed, then you will actually be prepared so that you will not be exposed. This is exactly what I did in an interview literally yesterday. I showed up with a resume in hand, questions ready to go, and stories about every different job I've ever had, including track, and that wasn't even a job. And because of the preparation I had done, coming ready, I ended up getting recommended for a managerial position that's not even close to the original position I was looking for. And so ultimately now I have a chance for more money, more pay, and more opportunities because of the fact I prepared. Some will practice until they get it right. Others will practice until they get it wrong. Choose who you'll be. You're the average of your 5 closest friends. It's a statement everybody hears. It's not entirely the truth, but it's pretty damn close. You need to build a community of like-minded people around you. Want to be a basketball player? Hang out with the best hoopers around you. Want to be an entrepreneur? Hang out with business owners. Spend time with the people who will influence your habits and decisions to the best degree. Community is a group of individuals who share a common location, interest, or goal. This encompasses a physical space like a neighborhood or town, or it could be a virtual space such as an online forum or group. The members of a community often interact to complete and accomplish a shared goal. In simplest terms, your community is your team and home court. Every person's life choices, behaviors, and habits are controlled by external factors. According to Darren Hardy, the writer of The Compound Effect, these factors are your inputs, what you feed your mind, associations, who you spend your time with, and your environment, your surroundings. Based on these factors, you can either become healthy, wealthy, and successful, or you can literally become a murderer. And we'll talk about that soon. Ever heard of wrong place, wrong time, or being guilty by association? Well, the people, places, and ideas you entertain or allow to entertain you shape how you see the world. So you have to be careful because without ever realizing it, you're absorbing majority of what you see, hear, and experience on a subconscious level. Now, I had a friend back in high school who was a relatively good kid. He didn't smoke, drink, party. Realistically, he stayed out of the way unless it was about basketball. Well, after graduating high school, the same kid started hanging out with gangbangers, selling drugs, using drugs, and partying all the time. Well, one night after a party, he decided to go somewhere and do something that nobody to this day knows. Well, that something ended up being him going to a gas station, murdering a guy in cold blood, using a gun, and now he's in prison for I don't even know how long. What you do with your environment, who you spend your time with, truly will become who you are. So, how do you change your life for the better by creating a perfect community and choosing external factors that rule your life? Well, one, take a tally of all the people in your life and you're going to split them into 3 groups. The first group will be no contact. These are the people who don't believe in you, only influence you to do bad, and have no aspirations of your own. Completely cut them out of your life. Block them on social media, delete their phone number, and stay away from the locations they hang out at, because once they get more access to you, they're going to work their way back into your life. Next, limited contacts. These are the people who are good friends, they're entertaining, they're fun, and you love being around them. But they don't push you to succeed. They don't want to talk about successful things, and their mind is simply at maintaining the life they currently have. But these people, spend time with them, connect with them, but on a limited basis. Connect with them on social media, see them for holidays, be around and share the love. But don't get trapped spending time with them too much. All you'll do is talk about sports, the latest music, and you'll fall back into your old habits of realistically not aspiring for much. But the third group, these are the increased contacts. These are the go-getters, and these are the people who are going to influence you to be your best. They believe in you. They see your goals. They see your aspirations and believe you can make it. Or these are the people who have habits and aspirations that you wish you could attain for yourself. Spend more time with them. Take these people out to lunch. Ask these people to come spend time with you and ask them questions about how they got where they're at and why they're the person they are. If you can do this enough, you will create a community of people around you that constantly push you to improve. There is one more group that I didn't talk about, and this is going to be the new interactions. These are people that you network with that are already in the place you want to be at. With these people, message them, call them, try and build a relationship, because if they can get brought into the increased contact group or even the limited contact group, well, then you'll have a pool of resources to help you at every step of the way. Number 2, change your surroundings. Like Abraham in the Bible, to find your promised land, you're going to have to leave the land of the past. Abraham in the Bible was in his hometown living with his father for years. He met his wife Sarah, he got married, and he was still in that same area. And God called him out for him to be delivered to something bigger, something better, and a reality he never imagined. Well, think of yourself as Abraham. You're going to have to leave where you are, what you're used to, and what you're comfortable with, to find a land that will bring you all the opportunities you could ever imagine. Find new places to spend your time, new ways to interact with the world. If you're used to eating at the same shops, go to new places around town. If you typically sit at home and watch TV, think about going to a gym or maybe a library to read. If your room is always messy, clean it up and keep it clean. These new small changes will begin to affect how you feel and see things. New environments elicit new responses from you, your mind, and your emotions. Fun fact, Vietnam War veterans often got addicted to heroin or meth. The thing about it, though, was no matter what the military medics would do, these people would not give up their addictions. But as soon as they got sent back to America, they were back with their families and back in their hometowns. Most of those addictions went away in the blink of an eye, for no reason other than environment change. And for some of those people who got sent back to Vietnam, their addictions came back immediately. It's really rare, but in the right circumstance, if you leave your environment, all those bad habits, the person you used to be in that environment, will go away. Change your mind. First off, what you think is based on what you hear, see, and experience. So changing your mental environment is just as important as changing your physical environment. To do this, you have 2 options. 1, get rid of negative influences, and 2, replace negative influences with positive ones. To get rid of negative influences, go on a social media detox, delete negative music and negative media, and 3, stop negative thinking patterns. And we'll talk about how to do that. To replace those negative influences with positive ones, start listening to motivational podcasts, listening to audiobooks, reading, meditating, journaling, right? Once you have that, stop listening to negative music and consuming that media and replace it with educational media and content creators. This will allow you to constantly be fed information that will push your mind, your thinking patterns into new ways of growth. ultimately. And third, to block out those negative thoughts when they arise, focus on gratitude. If a negative thought arises, spin it into something positive. If negative things are happening around you, find the good in it. If you do these things, you'll start to be happier, healthier, and have a more fulfilling life. Plus, a new state of mind and a new set of people around you with a new location to explore, you and the person you are will naturally develop into someone you wouldn't have expected yourself to be. This is what I've been working on personally, and it's been amazing. With new friends, new environments, new ways of thinking, everything has fallen into place in a way that I never could have imagined, especially now that I have a possible managerial job position coming up. Now, this is probably the biggest life experience change that I've had in a very long time. Excellence in all that I do. This is a true game changer and will make a drastic change in every single area of your life. Having excellence in all that you do is simply that, giving the best of your ability no matter what state of mind, no matter what physical state, and no matter what place in life you're at. If you're working on homework, do it the best you can. If you're reading a book, ask all the questions you possibly can find so that you get a deeper understanding. If you're talking to somebody, if you're loving somebody, any of that, do it with all your heart. When you start to work with excellence in every single thing that you do, the world will open up in new ways. Attempting to do everything with greatness and doing all that I do with excellence has done more for me in 2 weeks than anything else in my life. Much like preparation, doing everything with excellence has allowed me to be revealed instead of exposed. Doing all that you do with excellence shifts you into another gear. You can't procrastinate because you have to be prepared and you're trying to do the best you can. So now you're stuck focusing on one minute thing. It's allowed me to get into the flow state in so many different areas and avenues such as this video. Doing all that you do with excellence shifts you into another gear. You can't procrastinate because doing things with excellence take more time. I began to hyper focus and truly begin working at a higher level. On top of that, it's raised my expectation of what I can do, what I can accomplish, and what I'm willing to put into the world. Living life with the expectation of excellence affects everyone and everything in your life. If you're focused on excellence, you have to cut people out who aren't doing that because they're going to try and pull you back to who you were and doing things at a lower level than what you're currently working on. That's why community is such a huge cornerstone. When you begin to embody excellence, the world responds with love and blessings. When you are a person of excellent caliber, life throws success and opportunity in front of you. Yet, if you're not focused, life can easily overwhelm you. For example, I'm going all in on creating a personal brand on social media. I want to create a community, a brand, and an online infrastructure that allows me to spend time with the people I love doing what I want, when I want, because I want to. And to do this, I have to build a brand that's based around excellence, authenticity, and honesty. This is where everything ties in with each other. To do everything with excellence, you have to first look at yourself on your deathbed and think about life from what perspective you want to remember. What things do you want to have accomplished? What memories and ideas and accomplishment do you want running through your head? Write it all out. Go into detail about every single aspect. What accomplishments did you achieve? What people did you meet? What locations did you experience? This will give you a picture of your highest self, the one who took risks and fought like hell to succeed. Next, begin to prepare. Go through the entire prep framework to get yourself ready to win at life. Look at the top 5 areas of your life you want to improve in. For me, that's going to be fitness, faith, finance, branding, and also love. For me, it's going to look like going through planning, getting ready, setting expectations, and practicing. Look for a coach, mentor, or accountability partner. These should be people who have already lived through what you're working to accomplish. Have them guide you and tell you the process and the steps to take to shorten the curve of your success. While taking these steps, do it to the best of your abilities. You will suck, you will look retarded, but if you focus on excellence at every step of the way, it will shortcut the learning curve to be as successful and as diligent as you possibly can. Because when you focus on excellence and try and do everything meticulously, there's only so many mess ups that you can actually do at one step of the process. But once you get it right and you continue to focus on getting it right, it becomes second nature far quicker than if you were doing it haphazardly. Third, Create your success community. Now, you're going to have to go through that entire process, looking at the people that you want to cut off, the people you want to limit contact with, and the people you want to increase contact with. Now, if you do these 3 things, there will be nothing and no one who can get in the way of your success. I know within my heart of hearts that I've failed so long specifically because of the fact I haven't been focused on preparation, my community, and doing everything with excellence. Because now that I have been focusing on those 3 things, I've met the coolest people I've ever met in my life. I've started to get more opportunities in 2 weeks than I have in the past 2 years of just trying to do everything alone. And ultimately, I'm a lot happier, a lot focused, and succeeding more in every small area and facet of life. Now, I know that if you follow these 3 steps, your life can take a drastic turn. But if you don't believe me, next week I'll have another video for you to learn on how to improve your life. Stay smart, stay safe. I love you, and thank you for watching.